This is your dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com.
Welcome. This is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. I'm Kerry Lutz. Today is September 20, 2021, show number 322, and there's turmoil in the markets today, Nick, isn't there?
There's a lot of pressure in these markets today. We have the Evergrande in China. That's being thrown around as the catalyst for the decline today. But it's a big gap lower open, and the markets have really struggled right from the opening bell. So it's definitely a big weighing on the markets today.
Big. And that's leading to finally gold is catching a bid, huh?
Yeah, gold is actually very strong today. When I look at gold futures, they were strong really right out of the gate today, but they're up 16 points in a down tape. But what makes gold impressive today, and we'll see if it has some follow through in the coming days, is that the cryptos are getting hit. And lately it's been gold getting hit, but the cryptos catch a bid. And today we're seeing the cryptos really under some big pressure, and gold is getting a very nice bid. And I love when that happens. Gold looks like it's basically playing out as a fear trade. And again, we'll see how it plays out in the coming days, but this should be watched closely. Still needs a lot more work before the pattern becomes much more constructive, but overall, much better today.
All right, so Bitcoin, you gave a target of like 44 and change. If it went below that, you should be concerned.
Yeah, so last week we talked about, let me just get my Bitcoin chart up here because I always keep notes on there. But I did talk about if Bitcoin gets below the last pivot, which was right around 43,300 on a closing basis, this will go test the 39,000 level. Then after that, it's down to 25,000.
Okay, well, we're almost there. It looks like it's definitely getting hammered today. It's down. Hard to tell what this thing is telling me here.
I have it here. Bitcoin today lower by 8% to around 43,590. So, earlier today, Kerry, it tested the 200 and 100 period moving averages, and it held that. And rightfully so. Those moving averages were still pretty strong, especially when they're combined. But, again, now we take those moving averages out. It should be a pretty decent fall. But the Bitcoin chart is still hanging in there.
All right. Well, it'll be interesting to see. Sometimes markets can surprise you, like gold given up for dead last week and back today, coming back, heading towards 1,800 again. We'll see if it let it happen. But the turmoil in the averages here, that's got to be of major concern, huh?
Absolutely. Right now, we've been seeing selling pressure really since the start of the month. Started on September 2nd. At that point in time, we had the S&P 500 trading up around 45, I believe, is where it peaked. And now here we are today, looking at the S&P down around 43.62. Now, there's a lot of chart support in play. The markets are a little bit oversold. So there's some chances for the markets to get defended here. You also have the big Fed meeting on Wednesday. So don't forget Ben Bernanke, but I'm going to say Chairman Jay Powell and company. He's going to have his work cut out for him to try to prop up these markets. At this stage of the game, with this decline in September, I really can't see him talking about a taper. So that's the positive for the markets, is that the money spigot will probably remain turned on. The negative is that the market may not care.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I was reading an article. We talked about this a little bit last week, that evidently he had a $1.3 million portfolio of municipal bonds that he basically sold off last year. I think it was last year, the beginning of this year. So everybody's got conflicts everywhere, Nick.
Oh, it's conflict of interest central over there. He's not the only one. There are Fed governors that have sold off their stock. They said they'll be out by September. And here the market comes under pressure in September. You got to chuckle at this stuff. You can't make it up. And there's lots of conflicts of interest. But, I don't think anything's going to come of it.
Yeah, nothing. It's just more of the same.
I highly doubt it at this stage of the game. Look what's going on around the world. I mean, nothing comes of anything.
Yeah, no consequences for anything. Well, I think we'll leave it at that since it's Monday. We'll see how the markets develop throughout the week. And make sure you go over to Nick's site, inthemoneystocks.com, see how he's beaten the averages all these decades. The Twitter feeds at ITMS, at Nick Santiago01, and of course at Kerry Lutz. And send your emails to kl@kerrylutz.com. Nick, we'll talk to you on Wednesday.
Sounds good, Kerry.
And so concludes another episode of Daily Market Wisdom with Master Trader Nick Santiago. Be sure to go to his website, inthemoneystocks.com. Don't forget the Twitter feeds at ITMS and at Nick Santiago01.